What is a sexual question you have always wanted to ask but never had the right opportunity? When someone comes inside you, do you feel it, or is that a line made up by erotica writers and comic artists? Edit. Thank you for the silver. So what it feels like for me is that my husband's penis gets incredibly hard and then suddenly there is a very warm sensation. I also love when I can feel him pulse as he releases. Best feeling ever. Edit. Thanks for the silver. Who knew my first time would be on a comment like this? Why do guys feel exhausted after a blowjob like I just sucked his living soul out of him? Sexual release will put a dude to sleep. That's why the whole I gotta jerk off to get to sleep thing exists. It's honestly pretty stupid that it does that though. Evolution was like, I know what people should do after doing necessary reproductive work. Leave themselves completely vulnerable asleep. Think it's a biological thing so we don't impregnate everyone at once. Maybe, but it's perhaps the dumbest possible way to solve that problem. Similar to how, instead of cooling our ballsack down some other way, we leave it completely exposed because sperm dies at our effing body temperature. That's nuts. Me, a virgin, reading this thread. Ah yes, I know the sex. Very good. I've had multiple female partners tell me that they enjoy getting their nipples sucked on. Getting my nipples sucked on does nothing for me. Does this actually feel good for women, or is it just that you enjoy watching your partner get off while sucking on your nipples? Yes. God yes. I can neatly climax from just good nipple stimulation. And yes, nursing a baby is a completely different sensation. That did not arouse me at all. Is it true that it's dangerous to have sex in a pool? And while we're on the subject of water, does anyone actually enjoy shower sex? Because that is the most impossibly awkward thing I have ever attempted. Sex in a pool creates a direct pathway for bacteria to travel right up a vagina. Not to mention water makes lubrication complicated. So, I wouldn't call it dangerous, but it's definitely risky. After a swim in the lake, my ex and I went into the cabin of the boat for some sexy time. Going down on her, I got a mouthful of lake water. I looked up at her and said I thought these were waterproof. Without batting an eye, she said maybe when I was 15. What does the male orgasm feel like? Whenever I ask, the guy says it's the best feeling or it feels good. That doesn't tell me anything. What areas feel good? What does it feel like? In detail. What's it like before, during, after? What does the rest of your body feel like? What does your brain feel like during? Compare it to stuff. Give me metaphors. Write a poem or something. It's like a really good fucking sneeze. Complete with that same build up sort of tingle, but obviously in the dick area. Each spurt is like a mini shot of endorphins rushing through your brain, quickly followed by the most clear-headed you'll be all day. I think it depends on the guy, but here before, it feels like a warm tingly feeling rising toward the head. Think of a thermometer rising when it is hot but faster. During, it all releases and at least I experience a kind of euphoria. After, this is where it depends. Some people get tired, others get really tense. I just run out of energy. Sorry if this isn't accurate. I tried. I've only kissed a fair amount of times in my life, but not enough that I have a solid frame of reference as to what makes a good kiss and what makes a bad kiss. So, what would y'all say makes a good kiss? Good kisser? Keep your tongue soft and don't just jam it in their mouth. Not too much saliva. I have no idea how to explain this, tbh. I think the main thing is somebody who is responsive to their partner's reactions and does like those little things, touching their hair, their arm, pulling away to kiss their neck, etc. Chemistry, I think, is the biggest thing. When y'all just click, that shit is bomb. Yes, to keeping your tongue soft. There is nothing worse than a hardened tongue trying to poke its little tongue head inside your mouth hole. Kissing should be like dancing, not wrestling. Women, how would you describe a penis entering your vagina? It's something I'm genuinely curious about as a male, especially because I will, literally, never get to experience it. Things up your ass can be a universal experience. Things up your vagina, not so much. I don't see many answers, so let me try. If I'm really turned on, I can feel this sensation inside my body. Sometimes it's literally aching and sometimes it's like when your stomach drops, but drawn out and down in your lower abdomen. When foreplay progresses to the actual penetration, the first thrust is always the most intense. I think it's the pressure and resistance before things get more relaxed and stimulated. It's like how the first bite of food is usually the most enjoyable. Different men definitely feel differently. I'm not referring to technique but anatomy, cut uncut, width, angle, general structure. I think the closest comparison would be anal, but for lack of a better description, smoother. You can feel everything entering, but past a point, the only sensation is pressure. There's more distinguishable sensation further in than anal though. It's comfortably warm and smooth compared to fingers or toys. This is the closest to my experience too. The feeling of something in your stomach dropping especially. It's hot. Can balls actually retract inside the body? Yes they can. It is scary. I remember getting punched in the balls and putting my hands down my pants and feeling them float up. It took 3 days to come down. Too embarrassed to ask a family member or go to a doctor and be like, hey up, I can't find lefty. Edit. Holy shit, my highest upvoted comment is about my balls. Women. If you stick cold things, like if you put a toy in the freezer, inside of yourself, does it feel good on a hot day or is it uncomfortable? I'd imagine it's uncomfortable, but getting cooled from the inside also seems nice. Speaking as a woman, that sounds like a bad time. I am most likely gonna regret it, but what does cum taste like? Like not good or bad, I mean like is it fucking vanilla flavored? Just the slightest bit savory, but mostly salty. Definitely salty. Maybe even a bit acidic. Edit. When I said acidic, I didn't mean it was actually acidic. LMAO, the taste reminded me of an acidic food for whatever reason I do not know. Maybe it was his diet. It has been years. Edit 2. My most upvoted comment is now my opinion on the taste of cum. And I'm a virgin. Wild. Acidic and salty is a great way to describe it. Make your own salt and vinegar chips. Are there any other women out there who don't really feel anything internally? Like I feel like my vagina has no nerve endings and certainly no G-spot. Am I alone here? Internally definitely doesn't have a lot to offer me during sex. I've tried playing with my G-spot while doing it, but I find it doesn't do much, especially compared to a clit. Sometimes penetration can be nice addition to clitoral stimulation, almost like nipple play or kissing my neck, but it doesn't do much on its own. Are circle jerks really a thing? I have always wanted to know. Yeah, the best example I can think of is Reddit. Not a question answer, but this whole Reddit post is the best sex ed I've had in my entire life. Thank you for watching, and like if you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe for daily Reddit videos.